Hello. Catherine Langman here. Welcome back for another episode of the Productpreneur Success Podcast. And recently on the show, I've been talking quite a bit about the most effective strategy to generate the best return on investment with your paid advertising, and specifically how using email marketing correctly will help you to increase your profitability on your paid ads. And that's whether it's Facebook or Google ads. And using Klaviyo with your ads really does help to increase your ROI in a couple of ways. Firstly, because on average, only 2% of your website visitors will convert into buyers, which leaves a lot of wastage on that page traffic. But when you do make it enticing and easy for website visitors to subscribe to your list as well, you can potentially double the number of customers who buy from you. And obviously, that will help you increase the ROI on that page traffic. And the second way that Klaviyo can help improve your return on ad spend is by integrating your lists and segments in Klaviyo directly into your ad account. And because your email subscribers have given you permission to track their browsing and purchasing behavior, you can use your lists and segments to create much higher quality audiences in your ads manager, which also helps the Facebook ad algorithm to find your ideal customers much more easily and profitably. So that all sounds absolutely wonderful and amazing, and it really is. But what about just on its own? How profitable can your Klaviyo account potentially be, and how do you influence that and measure that? So that's what I'm going to be diving into during today's podcast episode. And for any of you who have listened to me or read much of my content or worked with me in any way, shape, or form, you will know how much I love email marketing and how important this channel has been to the success of my businesses over the years. So the question is email marketing still a valuable asset to your brand right here, right now in 2022, late 2022? And it's been a number of years since I have noticed a bit of a trend, especially amongst newer businesses who seem to act a little bit like, or believe a little bit like, Instagram is basically their marketing strategy, with the assumption that email marketing is kind of dead. People receive a million emails a day. I know I'm exaggerating, but it seems too hard to be noticed in the inbox. And, anyway, email is like so 20 years ago. Why would we do it now? But these business owners kind of failing to realize that they don't actually own their own audience on Instagram, and they can lose access to that audience at any moment without notice. And many do. It can be completely detrimental to a business when that happens. The answer is yes, 1,000 times yes. Email marketing is a hugely valuable asset for all brands, even today in late 2022. Today, digital advertising is constantly evolving. We all know that, right? With new ways to communicate and market to your customers coming onto the market all the time. Hello, TikTok. I know you're not new, but you're a little bit of a trend right now. However, no matter how many other innovative marketing platforms emerge, email marketing still remains at the head of the leaderboard when it comes to reaching and engaging with your audience, and in terms of generating a profitable ROI. Email is your direct line of communication with your most engaged customers and potential customers in a way that no social media or Google ad is or could ever be, really. And email offers the opportunity to share your stories, your products, and your offers with subscribers who really have asked to hear from you. They want to hear from you. And it also opens up a direct and personal two-way conversation with those subscribers, or it has the chance to be, the possibility to be. And probably, or possibly even more importantly, your email database is an audience that you do own. It's an asset for you. No change of algorithm or decision by Mark Zuckerberg could take that away from you. Email marketing is the most accessible and affordable option for businesses looking to grow their business with an ROI that is pretty hard to walk past. Many marketers fail to realize that the average ROI for email marketing is a staggering 3,800%, many times higher than any other digital marketing channel. And let me share a few other statistics for you here today as well. Conversion rates are at least 3 times higher on email than on social media. 4% of email marketing traffic will make a purchase compared to 2% of search engine traffic and less than 1% of social media traffic. These are averages. Online stores typically recover 7 to 10% of their abandoned carts with email. Shoppers spend 138% more when marketed to through email than those who don't receive email offers. There are currently 3.9 billion daily email users globally, with that number expected to hit 4.3 billion by the end of 2023. And finally, on average, brands that switch to Klaviyo from other email platforms see an increase in revenue of 46% in just 2 years, pocketing an average of $68 for every dollar spent on their email marketing platforms. So if these figures aren't, and figures and statistics aren't compelling enough, I don't know what is. So how do you actually calculate the ROI on your email marketing? So email marketing ROI, or return on investment, is precisely what it sounds like. It is a measure that is used to evaluate the effectiveness and profitability of an investment. In this case, it is the measurement of the profitability of your email marketing. So to calculate your ROI, you take your net gain and divide it by your email costs. So net gain is profits derived from email marketing, or revenue derived from email marketing, minus the email marketing cost, so that's your subscription cost, divided by that email marketing cost, okay? And you can easily figure out your net gain by navigating to your Klaviyo performance dashboard, where it will tell you the portion of your overall revenue that is attributable to your email marketing. So you take that figure and then you just deduct the cost of your Klaviyo subscription. And that's going to give you the net gain figure. And then you divide that by the cost of your Klaviyo subscription again. And so that's going to give you your ROI figure. It's going to vary depending on, which stage of business you're in, and also how far through, growing that email list and using that email list that you are. So hopefully all of you listeners here are generating a really decent proportion of your revenue from your email marketing. And, it already is an important part of your marketing channel or your marketing plan. Of course, hopefully you'll also pick up a few things from this episode today that will help you improve. Now, the other useful way to really review your Klaviyo performance or assess whether the ROI you currently enjoy is the best it can possibly be is to compare your company performance with industry benchmarks. Now, industry benchmarks represent the key numbers collected from many different businesses and then sorted into the industry. And Klaviyo's benchmarks are formulated pretty much in the same way, right? And Klaviyo actually publishes these benchmarks in the help section on their website. Now, it's a long URL. I'm not going to try and read it out here on the podcast, but I will include it in the show notes for this podcast episode to make it really super easy for you. But this is a very useful resource. It's a really helpful way to assess your returns that you are currently getting. And we do this with our clients and our potential clients because we always want to be at least meeting the averages, right? The benchmarks, preferably exceeding them. And it's a really excellent guideline that tells you how good your results are and also shows you the areas that you have the potential to improve in. So for example, I was auditing a Klaviyo account a couple of weeks ago for a brand that knew they weren't getting as much as they could from their Klaviyo account. And they knew this because they actually weren't sending any campaign emails at all. Their list was not growing and they only had 3 automated flows built out. So they knew all of that, right? But what I found was that of the 3 flows, only 1 was meeting industry benchmarks, whilst the other 2 were woefully under par. And the form submit rate on their opt-in form, so meaning how many people actually subscribed, was also really below average. So by using the industry standards, I was able to really quickly deduce where they were at and then be able to show them with independently verified data what potential they stood to achieve simply as a result of improving those things in their Klaviyo account. Of course, starting to send regular EDM campaigns. And, as a result of that audit, they were quickly able to discover that they were missing an enormous increase in potential monthly revenue And by implementing this in their business, not only would revenue increase, but of course, it would immediately improve the ROI on their email marketing, meaning profitability would also increase markedly. So how do you go about then improving your results, make more money, and therefore increase the ROI from your Klaviyo email marketing? And the starting point must be the measurement. You must be measuring your performance against those industry benchmarks. It's actually impossible to know if you've improved anything in business or in life if you don't work out where your current results are. And of course, you need to be able to figure out which parts are letting you down, which parts are potentially working okay or exceeding the averages or the benchmarks, and so that you can work out where to focus your time and attention. And then it's about two things. It's number one, it's about improving each benchmark, open rates, click rates, conversion rates, average order value. And number two, adding more contacts to your Klaviyo account. Now, point number two is reasonably simple, though not necessarily easy to fix. You definitely need to be driving more traffic to your website, where you should, of course, have methods for website visitors to subscribe to your list, such as opt-in forms, pop-up opt-in forms, embedded opt-in forms, that sort of thing. You can also use other ideas like a giveaway promo or a collaboration with another brand, for example, which are two really excellent ways to grow your list as well. Always be list building, I think, just needs to be your mantra in business, though, because hopefully, quite obviously, if you don't have many people subscribe to your Klaviyo account, then the actual dollar figure amount generated by this marketing channel won't be that much, right? So even though Klaviyo and email marketing in general typically enjoy massive conversion rates compared to other channels, as we've spoken about, right? Then, the problem is if the number of contacts in your database then is small, then it'll be like, 6% of not much in terms of your conversion. So we obviously want to be tipping more contacts into the top of that funnel there, adding new contacts to your database all the time. And therefore enjoying the consistent improvement and increase in the results. And I know that if you're at the starting point or the early stages of your business or the early stage of your list building and email marketing efforts, that can feel really discouraging, right? But please take it from me, it's a little bit like trying to get fit. It just takes consistency. So we can't expect to make $1 million overnight with this stuff. It takes consistency. It's like that old saying, if you want to enjoy shade from a tree, when's the best time to plant the tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. And of course, then you water it and you nurture it consistently and it'll grow. Now, for traffic generating strategies that are working right now, I would definitely recommend listening to my recent podcast about social media advertising, which is episode 144. You can find that one at katherinelangman.com/episode 144. And I'll obviously pop that in the show notes as well. Point number one, though, the improving each benchmark is probably the one I see most brand owners struggle with the most, right? And, have you ever struggled with the issue of not knowing what to put in your emails? And, even when you have a good idea, how do you write it? How do you present it? Because these are all the things that are going to influence your open rates, your click-through rates, your conversion rates. Like if you have a really crummy subject line, are people going to open your email? No, they won't, right? And if the content inside the email is not very compelling, are people going to click? Are people going to then buy? Probably not, right? So it does come down to figuring out what to put in your emails and being able to present that well. And I see it all the time, and I've had moments like this too throughout my career, where it can feel a little bit like a topic that goes in the too hard basket most of the time, with the result that consistency is just not happening. And then many brand owners resort to sending just the occasional email about a big discount promotion, right? Or a sale, which is not going to get you anywhere good. Let's face it, right? In fact, you will ultimately end up building a database of customers who only buy when presented with a deep discount. And when you build that kind of audience or database, it is really hard to reposition it to a more value-driven audience. And so we really want to avoid that situation as much as possible. We really want to help you with this struggle so that you have a plan, you have confidence, and you have consistency with your email marketing. So I have a couple of tips for you to share with you today. The first one is I highly recommend that you get 1 or 2 professionally designed templates created and set up for you inside your Klaviyo account. Now, hands up if you are a graphic designer, because if you are, fantastic, you don't need to listen to this bit. But if you're not, like most brand owners I know, you should not be the one trying to create beautiful looking emails. It will take you too long to execute it, and then the whole task either blows out into a mammoth project that, you know, just feels like it's bigger than Ben-Hur, or you just won't do it, or you won't make it a priority to do it regularly. But at the same time, you also need to accept that your subscribers and customers will respond better to a well-designed piece of communication. And this goes without saying, it goes for any channel, actually. I'm not just talking about email here. A well-designed piece of communication, whether it's a website, whether it's an email, whether it's an advertisement, you know, if it's well-designed, then consumers will respond better. And there's a few reasons for this. It's consumer behavior, right? So in general, consumers typically have pretty short attention spans, and they're also mostly reading your emails from their smartphone, right? So to capture their attention and to make it really easy to read and to consume your content so that they can quickly and easily understand what you're on about in the email and where and how to get it, you really need to employ really good visual communication skills, written as well, but visual is probably the one that lets a lot of people down, a lot of small brand owners down, right? And this is where a professionally designed template or 2 will absolutely pay dividends for you. And it does not cost you very much to get that done, trust me. So I promise that will help enormously. Number 2 is you need to be preparing your content plan in advance. Hands up who is operating like a, fly by the seat of your pants type strategy for your marketing, or, you know, you're sitting there scratching your head, you know, daily or weekly with your social media content and your emails as well, wondering what on earth you're going to write about today. You know, this is where you can solve that with your content or your promotional plan. And, you know, this sort of a plan, it really becomes the backbone of your whole marketing plan, right? And it will make it really super easy for you to then know what content you need to create each week for your emails and for your social media as well. We really want both channels to be kind of tying in with each other. There is a known fact, researchers have found that consumers will respond much faster and with better results when they see the same or similar messages shared on multiple channels. There's a coherence, there's a congruence, there's also just a ramming the facts home in the brain so we remember it going on there, right? So you want to tie the content across those channels together. But, you know, having a plan, even if you're just bullet pointing this out on the back of an envelope, I don't care how you do it, right? But when you've got that plan and you know what's going to go out every week, there's no more having to think about it on the fly or at the last minute. Now, on this episode, I'm not going to be trying to explain or train you on the entire process of coming up with your content or promotional plan. That is an episode on its own. But a really good start would be going back to listen to an episode on my podcast that I recorded a couple of months ago, which was all about how to create a goal-crushing marketing plan for your brand. So that one was episode 123, and you can find it at katherinelangman.com/episode-123. Super easy. Of course, I will link both those podcast episodes in the show notes here for this episode, so that it will hopefully make it nice and easy for you to find them. Now, last but not least, I really want to make one final mention about measuring your performance metrics or your results from your email marketing. You really need to make a habit of doing this on a regular basis. We do it weekly and monthly for our clients. And you also want to keep an eye on the performance dashboard inside your Klaviyo account. I really want to see a good 25% on average of your overall revenue being generated by Klaviyo, as you know, this really is a good indicator of a profitable brand. Alrighty, guys, that's it for today's episode. We've covered the compelling statistics about how profitable email subscribers are to your business. We've discussed, that incredible ROI that email marketing can produce for your brand. Like, you don't want to walk past that, guys. We've covered how to measure your own ROI and assess your performance against industry benchmarks, as well as 2 ways that you can grow and improve the results that you're getting. Now, I would love to be hearing from you guys on this topic. I'd love you to hit me up in our Rockstar Productpreneur Facebook group or send me a DM on Instagram. Let me know how you're going with your email marketing, where you feel like you're winning, and of course, where you feel like you're struggling as well. And I will do my absolute best to help you out there. Now, hopefully, I will see all of you enjoying improved growth and results with your email marketing over the coming months. Like, I want to give a shout out to our fabulous client, Inspirational Tico, whose case study, I think I shared it earlier this year. You can definitely find that one at productpreneurmarketing.com in the client work section. But when we started working together, I remember she was just making absolutely no money from her email list at all. She was actually sending some emails, and she did, and campaigns and flows. And she did have subscribers, but they just weren't buying from her at all from email. But now, good 6 or so months later, she's not only generating a whole lot more revenue, but also it's just way more profitable, given she's got this really healthy proportion of her sales being generated from her Klaviyo account, and it's consistent, which is amazing. And that's incredibly exciting, and it's also something that I really want all of you guys to enjoy and experience as well. Now, hopefully you're feeling super motivated to replicate this in your own business and really get the most value from your Klaviyo and from your email marketing channel in general. And to do that right now, you have 3 choices. We always have a few different ways that we can go about these things. And the first is that you can go and figure it out alone via trial and error. The second is that you can learn from someone else who already knows how to do it, or the third being that you can outsource it. And of course, each is a valid choice and each will take varying lengths of time to implement. So if you're keen to kind of speed things up, or just, the process of learning and implementing or getting results faster, please reach out to me, because there are a variety of ways that I can help you depending on what stage of business that you are at. So this email marketing, I think you know by now, it's what I do and love to do. It is my kind of most favorite area of marketing for e-commerce. So whether you're looking for coaching to help you learn and implement these things, or if you're looking for a team of experts to outsource to, just head over to katherinelangman.com/work-with-me, and you can find out about all those options, and you can also book in for a free strategy session. But that's it for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, I would be forever grateful if you would share it with 1 or 2 of your business besties, especially if you know that they are really looking to master email marketing for their brand this year. It's been a tough year in the realms of paid traffic and just, a tougher year for e-commerce generally. So email marketing is something that we can all be doing more of and get better at in difficult times like today. So if you know anyone in that boat, please go ahead and share this episode with them. You can just click on the icon next to the podcast on whichever platform that you're listening to it on, copy the share link, and then you can send it to your friends in a message. So that's it for today, though. Have a fabulous day and week, and I will be with you on the show again next week. Bye for now.